changing the format. There's
sure.
new aero packages.
Okay. I'm running the bumper music here, so let me get you on here. Okay. Tri-City Sports Now, and we're moving up Jerry Bonkowski in the batting order, so to speak. He's going to hit second instead of his traditional, I guess, fifth spot in the 8-man lineup. Usually joins us at 1, but had an appointment. So we're going to talk about the All-Star race at 12:50 here right now, and what the time is, which is 12:18 Eastern time, 11:18 up in Chicago where he is. Anyway, Jerry, it's the All-Star race in Charlotte. This has been something we've talked about how long Charlotte may keep that race or so. Could it be taken around to other venues? But okay, maybe I'm feeling cynical today because Grant Williams won't be coming back to the Tennessee Volunteers, and so it looks like the Vols will not have the basketball team they had last year, but he'll be going to the NBA draft. But I just wonder this, hey, the need for an all-star race in NASCAR. I mean, the all-stars are already on there every race. It's not like, hey, let's award the best player on every baseball team, every football team, every hockey team, whatever. Explain, what is the need for a all-star race? Because don't we already have them in the regular season every time we go to the track?
Well, no, not really, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
This has been a point of discussion for years from a lot of fans who've asked the same question you asked, Marky. And the thing is, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, any stretch or by any stretch, but this is the best of the best of the best in NASCAR. I mean, that's what you have in the All-Star race. You have the former race winners, the former champions, and this is not to downplay or degrade or anything of the other drivers who may not have had the same success, who have not had wins, or who still come out every race and do their best. But this highlights the best of the sport, and it's not just the best drivers, but also the fans get to see a kind of different element than you see in normal races. For example, this is going to be 85 laps, 5 more than it was last year. So that's one big difference. The other two big things is they're going to try a couple of new aerodynamic packages that are going to potentially be on race cars either in 2020 or 2021. And the All-Star race has kind of had a history of doing that, where they've tried certain things that you may see down the road. So, add all that together, and an all-star race in NASCAR to me is very similar to the Pro Bowl in the NFL or the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the NHL, NBA, all that kind of thing. You want to see the best of the best doing their best, and you don't have to. You have a race that features solely those drivers as opposed to other teams that may not have the success. And again, I'm not disparaging them by any stretch, but you get the chance to see everybody do their best against the best. That's probably the best way to say it.
In some ways, I would suggest that it's almost like English soccer, where you have the Premier League and you have Division II. You sort of separate the men from the boys. If you're getting the All-Star selection, then yeah, you're good. We recognize you. If you're not, okay, you're part of the field and maybe you ought to, got some work to do, is what the guest that I have right here. Now, you mentioned the 5 extra laps. NASCAR, it seems like every week there's a change of some. What's the difference in this format than, say, in past years in the All-Star race? Jerry Bonkowski, the right rev of speed.
Well, the All-Star race format has changed. It almost seems like every year we have a change.
Yeah.
And, there was a point not too long ago, maybe about 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, that, there was some consternation that there were changes more so for just change's sake. And NASCAR, to its credit, showed that they were using the All-Star race, like I said a moment ago, as a vehicle to improve racing overall down the road in the actual series itself. So, we're going to have, we've had All-Star races where we've gone 90 laps. We've had All-Star races where we've gone 80 laps. Tomorrow's race, rather, is going to have 85 laps, 5 more, like I said, than last year. And then plus the 2 new aerodynamic packages. Those are the big keys. Plus, you're going to have, you've got a 15-driver field right now. You'll have 3 more drivers coming in from the open race,
It's not the weather around. I mean, Charlotte, it's in, let's say, the region. It's not next door, but, it's not that far away. It's not unheard of from somebody from the Tri-Cities, let's say, to drive to Charlotte to use the airport. It's a discount air, that sort of thing. You can save some bucks that way. But it's about a 3-hour trip where the roads don't go there, really, that sort of thing. But it's not so much the weather that I'd be concerned that much about as the air. Maybe that's a total East Tennessee thing, but boy, yesterday was another allergy day here, at least for me, and I think so many in East Tennessee and all that. I mean, yeah, let's get a good rain to get the pollen away, even if it moves the 8 o'clock Saturday start to, Sunday, if that has to happen or so. Let's see here. It seems they say there was a new leader, they say, in the fan vote, and Kyle Larson is number 2, but Alex Bowman, maybe not a bridesmaid, although he's number 1. Why do you think Alex Bowman has gotten so popular? Is it because his success, or shall I say lack thereof, in recent races? Or was this really something you think that Alex Bowman was one of those budding drivers that people were about ready to follow?
I think there's a lot of elements about Alex Bowman. Certainly the success he's had the last 3 races, all of them runner-up finishes, placed significantly in that popularity. Number 2, remember, he is the successor to Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that number 88 car, and a lot of people, I think, were wondering when we would start seeing success from him because, let's face it, he has some very big shoes to fill, and now he has definitely shown he can fill those shoes quite admirably, and I think it's just a matter of time for him before he wins the race. I mean, if he makes the field, if he gets through the Open tomorrow and then makes the field for the race later in the evening and wins that All-Star race, that's going to be huge. I mean, hopefully he won't finish runner-up again, but also you have to look at what this means for him going into the Coca-Cola 600 next week as well, too. I mean, I keep on telling everybody, this kid is knocking on the door. He's ready to win, and, I think we can see a win here in the next 2-3 races very easily.
It's kind of interesting because, Bowman, Kyle Larson, Matt DiBenedetto, Bubba Wallace is only 4th despite the media tour that he's been on here recently and some of his success, finishing 2nd in the Daytona 500, that sort of thing. And William Byron, surprised there, I suppose. I might have thought that another veteran driver or so, a little more name recognition since you've been around and all that might be there. But no, the fans going with the youngsters to maybe start in the All-Star race. Do you have a pick, Jerry?
I'm beating this like a dead horse, but I like Jimmy Johnson.
There's even a story right there on NASCAR.com about he's ready to win. Of course, you had, and when it happens, you scooped them all because I know you had.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, I have a gut feeling about Jimmy. I mean, he's gone through some rough times. There's no question about it. But this is, he goes back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and when he was doing so great in his career. The old nickname for that place was the house that Jimmy built, or that he, of course, it's been built before that, but I mean, that just had such great success there. And I think that he can not only win the All-Star race, I think he can win the Coca-Cola 600. I mean, what would that do for Jimmy Johnson's futures and fate and fortunes if he were to do that? I mean, the one-race winless streak would be total history. He pointed to these 2 races as, the kickoff for essentially running Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt.
Now, I'll say this. I mean, he won the exhibition race at the start of the year before the Daytona 500, so now we have another exhibition race. I don't know. Of course, then the long knives will come out, hey, how things and all that. Right. By the way, you did tweet out that Jimmy Johnson said the opportunity has passed for him to race in the Indianapolis 500. Does that mean in the future or this year?
He did say yesterday that he would welcome the opportunity to do a one-off IndyCar race at a road course. So we're talking probably either Laguna Seca or maybe, if there's another track, another road course that they may eventually wind up going to, Circuit of Americas. I think he would love Circuit of the Americas. I think that would be the most logical place for him. But Laguna, important for Jimmy is he wants to get his NASCAR Cup career back on track, and he wants to finish it in strong fashion.
He is the right rev of speed, or as I like to call him, the right rev of rev. Read him on NBCSports.com. Jerry Bonkowski, we moved him up in the order. We'll talk another kind of racing. We're going to talk horse racing, the Preakness Stakes, with Teresa Gennaro of Brooklyn Backstretch. That's coming up after this.